What's up, YouTube? This your boy D Wayne, bringing you another video at this time. So basically, I am back, people. I've been gone for about a month or so. Just been dealing with a whole bunch of life issues, bunch of drama, just a bunch of craziness, man. And basically, my focus kind of turned away from, doing videos and stuff, and just focusing on my life and just getting it back together. Basically getting that little bit of peace of mind. You know. Now I'm back. I have that. I've dealt with everything I needed to deal with. So yes, I am back, and I will be bringing you guys more videos. All right. So basically, what we're going to be doing now is talking about shadolls. Now, shadolls are a group of spellcasters that are dark. Interestingly enough, looking at the artwork of the cards, they don't look like spellcaster type monsters, but they are all spellcasters. Kind of digressing for a second. I was watching one of Drew Pickens' videos. He was talking about shadolls as well. He was talking about how he was, facing off against a shadoll player, and basically he got salt thrown all in his face. So it was a bit hilarious to listen to his video and how he expressed himself, and it definitely was a funny thing. I even kind of, cut ass on him a little bit in my comments on his video, so it is what it is. Everybody, dealing with shadolls is actually I can definitely agree with him about how annoying the deck can be, because the deck pluses all, basically all moves it makes, it pluses off of. Refuse, you plus. You foolish burial, you plus. You the cards get sent by card effect, they plus. It doesn't matter how they go to the graveyard, they plus. So let's get into each individual monster. Alright, first we have Shadow Dragon. Obviously they all have flip effects as well. They have flip effects and they have effects when they're sent to the graveyard. Firstly, Dragon's effect, when he's sent to the graveyard, you can pop a spell or trap card on the field, which is really good, of course. Secondly, his graveyard effect is when he's no, I'm getting my effects confused now. Flip effect, he basically sends a card from the deck to the hand. Ugh, get me effects mixed up. Damn. I know I haven't did videos in a while, so let me get the effects straight. Firstly, Dragon's effect. His discard or sent to the graveyard effect, he pops a spell or trap. Secondly, his flip effect is when he flip face up, he can bounce a card from the field to the hand. Really good. And he's a pretty decent 19 attack monster. So alright, that's him basically. He's actually really good. Secondly, we have Falcon. Falcon is a level 2 tuner spellcaster. Yes, I do know he's a tuner. Alright, so firstly, his discard effect, he special summons himself when he's sent to the graveyard. Secondly, his flip effect is when he's flipped face up, you can special summon a shadow monster other than himself from the graveyard and face down the fence. Notably, the best monster to to special summon by Falcon's effect would be Beast, because when Beast is flipped face up, you can draw 2 cards and discard 1. Of course. Also, his send to the graveyard effect, you get to draw 1 card. So basically, he'll be your draw engine to help your deck move around. Secondly, we have next we have Shadow Lizard. Just because I'm doing this straight off memory here, guys. Alright, Shadow Lizard. His flip effect is basically his Vindictive Magician, basically. Flip, you send destroy target a monster, destroy that monster. His graveyard effect is you basically get another Foolish when he's sent to the graveyard. So you can send him to the grave with whatever effect. If you fuse with him, you can get another dump. And you can basically dump Hedgehog, which is the next card I'm going to talk about. Dumping Hedgehog will get you a Shadow Search, and his flip effect gets you a Shadow Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand. So basically, Hedgehog will be your searcher for the deck to get your combo pieces to hand, so that you can move your deck around and make moves. All right. Hedgehog. Now we have the fusions. You have El Shadoll Midrash. He's a 22 level 5. Firstly, he can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Secondly, you can only special summon while he's on the field once per turn, basically. Only one monster per turn. And lastly, if he's sent to the graveyard, you can add a spell or trap card from your graveyard to your hand. So that is pretty good. That's what Drew was mostly complaining about, getting hit by Midrash and stopping your special summons, because obviously he was playing Sechella Knights, so if he can't special summon more than once per turn, then basically you just have the monster sitting on the field to be victims of attacks by Midrash and other Shadoll monsters, because they're all relatively weak. The strongest among them is Unk at 1800 attack, so not really much you can do there unless you run the equip card for them. Anyway, that's getting into an entirely different deck. So yeah, Midrash is actually a really good card. Stops your opponent cold, and lets you plus off, because you can still use the other effects of the other Shadoll monsters while he's on the field. You don't have to constantly special summon with Midrash on the field. You can just summon your monsters off and still get your inherent pluses and stuff with the fusions and stuff like that, as long as you're not doing too much. Just you're doing one other special summon, like you maybe have him and Nephilim on the field, and that's all the special summon you'll be doing for the turn, so which is not too bad. Alright, getting into Nephilim now. Nephilim is obviously the strongest of all the Shadolls. Well, her full name is El Shadoll Nephilim. Interesting enough, the L stands for, darkness, which is what comes from the planet Saturn, which represents darkness. It's, a little bit of history for you guys. So, yeah, but surprisingly enough, Nephilim is light, so she requires a dark and light monster to send to the graveyard to fuse for her. Alright, so her first effect is basically when she's special summoned, you can get a fusion spell card from the graveyard to your hand. Or rather, no. When she's special summoned, you get a shadoll dump. A shadoll card dump to the graveyard, which is really good. Second effect, when she's attacking a special summoned monster, she basically auto kills. And lastly, when she's sent to the graveyard, just like Midrash, you get a shadoll spell or trap card from your graveyard to your hand. So obviously, most notable, you'll be adding the fusion card or shadoll roots from your graveyard to your hand, which are also pretty good support cards for them as well. So let's get into the support. Firstly, Shadoll Fusion. Shadoll Fusion is a normal spell which requires you to send 2 Shadoll monsters for each fusion. Of course, you have Midrash, which needs 2 Shadoll monster and a Shadoll Dark, and then you have Nephilim, which needs a Shadoll monster and a Light monster. So that's pretty cool, because obviously the Shadoll monsters get their effects off when they're sent to the graveyard. And in the case of opponents controlling a special summoned monster, you can send materials from your deck to the graveyard to fusion summon with, which is really good, because everybody summons from their extra deck these days unless they're playing Monarchs. So you'll likely get that effect off a pretty good amount of times, so which makes that card very good for the deck. Alright, next, Shadoll Roots. Shadoll Roots is a trap monster. Stats are level 9, 1450 attack, 1950 defense. Basically, it can be material for either a light or a dark material for any of the fusions that you plan on summoning. So it can be light for Nephilim, and it obviously can be dark for Midrash or any one of them. So Basically, can act as materials for both fusions. And also, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a shadoll spell card from your deck, from your graveyard to your hand. So basically, the deck does recycle around to make up for the minuses you get when you fuse and stuff. And those aren't minuses either, because you can plus off the materials that are sent to the graveyard, because they obviously have their effects as well when they come off. Yeah. So that's pretty good as well. Next we have, I don't remember the name of the freaking card. It's not a, it doesn't have shadoll in its name, but it's a trap card that basically gets you a foolish burial dump, and it also flips up your shadoll monsters into a face-up defense position. And obviously you have the flip effects that go off from that. So if you have maybe two or more, monsters face down, you'll get all their effects that go off, and you get an extra dump to the graveyard to have whatever effect will go off there to go off as well. So it has basically it's definitely enough to throw some salt on you, because it's a lot of effects going off at once, and it can get a bit overwhelming, especially if your opponent's definitely swarming you. So yeah, deck is rather it is a crazy deck. And there are also different variants of the deck. You have your light swarm variants. Drew's obviously talking about his Bujin shadoll deck that he played against. You have the artifact related deck using artifact moral attack and theosophy. Um, you probably have others. Some of them may use agents. Some of them may use fairies as well. Anything light attributed to go with it. To obviously use materials to fuse for Nephilim and stuff. So overall, it is a pretty solid deck. They may have more support for it in later packs, because obviously this deck list for Duelist Advent is complete, so you may have other sets where they may come out with more support for it. So actually, yeah, so that's basically it. An overall solid archetype, and I've been playing it, testing it a little bit. Actually, I have a couple of dual vids for it. I may put them up, I may not. I don't know, because the software I'm using is kind of crappy for dual vids. I've been trying, but they always been coming out bad every time. So I'll have to get some new software for that, so I can hopefully come with some better video feeds for the dual vids. So yeah, that's basically it. So I'm gonna try to keep this up the best way that I can. Because I tend to be busy a lot, just handling business in general. So if I bring you guys a vid, I'll bring you guys a vid. It may take me a while. It may not take me a while. But since I'm in a better place now, in a better mindset, I'll be able to try to give you guys videos as often as I can. All right. So until then, I'll be bringing you more videos in the meantime. But until then, peace as YouTube.